Hi everyone. So I wanted to go ahead and give a little mini tour of my small garden. You got to remember too that this is my first trial or even attempt at starting a garden, and everything that I've done, most of it was through YouTube videos, and the majority of it was through this book called Square Foot Gardening. This is my little square foot garden, and we're not doing it on the ground. We're actually doing it on raised beds that my husband and his friend used pallets to actually create. And we have this first raised bed here with our little makeshift canopy that we're using, only because the plants here are a little bit more, I guess, sensitive in a sense. And so I didn't want either too much sunlight or too much rain pounding on them to break the little plants, and hence why we built a canopy. Also, they're more, or the area we're in, it's kind of summertime and we're having heats high into the 90s, and just don't want those to burn. And this one over here, we created our own little trellis because we're using vine variety of vegetables that grow on vines, as you can obviously tell. And then here we have other stuff that I'll go into a little bit detail a little bit later. So we'll start with this one here. We have these little planter boxes with herbs basically, and these are all store-bought herbs. Flat Italian parsley, cilantro, basil, which is really picking up from when I first bought it, and oregano. These are from seeds. Spinach. So I have one variety of large leaf spinach and one of them are baby spinach, and honestly I can't tell you which one's which because I forgot to label them. So this one's spinach, and in this first square foot here we have spinach. Here we have romaine lettuce. Here we have kale. This kale was store-bought in a little planter that I just transplanted into the square foot garden. So was the romaine. The spinach here was started from seeds. And I have 3 plants here of assorted variety bell peppers. And these bell peppers were all started from seed, which I started inside the house in containers several weeks ago during winter time. And as you can see, one of them is finally starting to flower. And once you see flowering, that means a bell pepper is soon to come behind. If I kind of poke through here, you'll see another one. Over here, this square area is garlic, which have not come through. And these here are onions. And these onions I bought from the little onion seeds or bulbs or whatnot, so I just actually planted the bulbs themselves as well as the garlic. Same thing here and here. So the pack of onions, or the seed bulbs that I bought of the onions, they were the variety pack of yellow, red, and white. So each square is one of those colors. Here I'm also growing habanero peppers. And you can actually see the first little habanero growing right there. And these were store-bought. Got a little flower there starting to bloom. And I actually grew some habanero peppers from seeds, but for some reason they weren't making it too well, and I'm not sure what happened. So I ended up giving those away along with a lot of bell peppers that I had. I started out like maybe 6 or 7 plants of bell peppers. They all made it. I decided to transplant the strongest or biggest ones that I saw, and this is what we have here. This planter is the one that I had first outside. This came, I actually planted this maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. This one has been here since April, even during the time it was actually still cold. These two plants right here are cucumber plants. And funny enough, on the square foot gardening, they say to do 2 cucumber plants per square foot, which is exactly what I did. But I'm wondering if I should have just kept 1 because it's growing so huge and it's starting to overcrowd my other square foots. These right here are carrots, and I would have never thought the carrots to have gotten this big. If you can kind of see through here, you can see if I pull this out, that would be a carrot, but I'm not going to pull it now yet because it's definitely not ready. These are also carrots. All of these carrots I started from seed. I had something else in this spot here, but it never made it. So I decided to just pull those out and just replant carrots. So by the time these are harvested, these should be growing, and then whenever I want some more carrots, I can find more carrots here. It's funny how tiny they started. Look how small they are. And then look how huge and big they've gotten. And these are like 16 per square foot, and I have 1.5 square foot of carrots. And they're just like taking up everything. And here, these are green beans, vine variety green beans. They haven't started making any green beans yet, but they sure are growing. And I've had one issue with these bugs or beetles, I don't know exactly what, but they're freaking eating my plants. And I've got lots of other pictures too of everything that they're doing. I hope these make it, and I hope they'll be able to produce the beans. And these were also per the guide square foot gardening, it was like 9 per square foot. And I've got like 2 square feet here and 9 in each square foot, and this is just like ridiculously a lot. This is a 4-foot trellis, and it seems like I should have made it higher. But I've been using neem oil to spray these, and I'm hoping that they'll make a difference soon as far as keeping these bugs at bay. As far as my 2 cucumber plants, I finally got my very first cucumber coming through right here. Definitely have a lot of those male flowers. A whole lot of them down there. And I attempted to pollinate that one yesterday in order to make sure that it grows, and we'll see the outcome of that. Then the other, because this bed here wasn't exactly square footage dimension, it's like 2.5 square feet this way. So then we have these 1/2 square foots. I ended up growing strawberry and a strawberry plant which is taken off. These were all strawberries here prior. They never made it. These did, and because these didn't do anything, I pulled them all out. And then I replaced these with more beans, but this is a different variety. These are bush beans versus the vine beans that grow up. And back here I have just a few plants of sugar snap peas. They're very small. And these back here, sorry, these are the cucumber one trying to take over. These are also beans, but these are purple beans. These should be making purple beans. And we'll see how that comes out as well. Then I just planted a few marigolds, which was recommended to me kind of to keep certain insects or bugs at bay, but then to attract bees in order to get these things pollinated. We'll see how that goes. And then over here I have container plants. The white ones are all potatoes, and so far this one has started to come through. These haven't poked through the surface as of yet. I've did potato seeds for these. This is okra. Actually, all 4 of these are okra. For some reason, this is making it. These 3 aren't. Not sure why. All of these have drainage holes at the bottom so the water can drain through properly. These are my 2 squash plants. This one looks a little not so well. But usually it looks like that for some reason during the heat of the day. Then during mornings and evening times, it fills up like this. And I'm not sure exactly what these are, but the leaves don't look as good as I would like them to. But again, I've been using neem oil. Haven't really seen much bugs or infestation of these as of yet. But I'm definitely getting some squash growing in here. Quite a few. This one flowered, this one opened up this morning and I pollinated it with one of the male flowers, which opens up daily every morning. And if you can see, excuse me, through here, all these little baby spinaches trying to come through. I said spinach, I'm sorry, squash. Don't know where that came from. And then of course we had that little spider trying to eat my stuff. Kind of creepy. And then this one also, we have squash here, squash there. That one I also pollinated because it opened up. Another one back here. I don't know why it wilts like this. I don't know if it's the heat of the day or maybe this is some kind of disease, obviously. I'm using neem oil as well. I haven't seen any particular bugs or anything. But we'll see how these fare up or hold up. It looks like this during the daytime in the high heat of the sun. It wilts, but then it picks right back up once the sun goes down. And these also, I kind of started these inside in containers with seeds and then transplanted them into these beds later on. So that's my little square foot garden experience. And like I said, this is the very first time that I've attempted to do a garden. I will update you later to see if I yielded any harvest or if this has produced what I've wanted them to produce in a good way versus if I was not that successful. And as I said, all of these is just a trial run, my first year trial run. And I'm trying different experiments and listening to what other people, or trying out what other people have said or done. And based on what works, I'll try again next year. And then maybe do like a instructional or tutorial type of video of what I did for a particular plant or how it was successful, and go into more detail of the soil I use, the composition of the soil. And a lot of it comes from that book, as I've mentioned, the Square Foot Gardening book. And I can't wait until these harvests, or till it's harvest time, and see what I'm able to yield from all of this. Thank you for watching.